expectation is that these students have a better understanding of their reality. And I'm going to move on. It was a 2-year project, involved 12 schools and 48 teachers and 12 principals. We took an action research approach. Our data collection strategies were professional learning portfolios, surveys, questionnaires, and learning evaluations. What I want to do though is I'm going to skip a few slides, but I'm going to highlight this. This was part of the questionnaire, and the teachers had to identify what goals they wanted from the project. Really interesting, because what these goals started to do was demonstrate the vulnerabilities that these teachers actually have. So for example, teach me more maths, expose me to maths, not use worksheets, to teach mathematics materials more effectively, support students, create interesting things, be confident, have a more thorough understanding, and so on. So, my background is in critical discourse theory and analysis. So what this was telling me, that through these particular pieces of, or these phrases and statements, there were some vulnerabilities there. We also did an efficacy scale, and of course this was part of the way through the project. I just want to highlight a couple of things, and the first one is that it was a Likert scale with a score from 1 to 5. But what was really interesting is the ones that are particularly quite low. I include opportunities for students to think critically. In my maths lessons, I guide students with critically reflecting on their maths learning. We've got another one up here. I connect the students' reality experiences to abstract language and so on. And these were the areas that the teachers were actually finding very, very difficult. But there's a twist here, and I'm actually going to slide past that to this point, because I know I've only got a couple of minutes. There's a twist, and the twist is this. Those teachers came along to the professional learning workshops because they were targeted by their principals, by their leaders in schools. Now what they didn't know was that they were going to shift from, teacher to teacher educator. There's a big difference between those two roles. As a teacher, I have the intimacy and the sacred space of my classroom. But when you're a teacher educator, it's not so intimate. And I have to educate all of you. Let's say you're going to be my colleagues in my school. So here's the issue. A couple of things. So obviously I've talked about the vulnerabilities. They were expected to develop from classroom teachers to teacher educators. They were expected to collaborate with their peers, and yet they'd never been a teacher educator, they had been a classroom teacher. What we also learned was that the development of the professional development teams supported the teachers moving to teacher educators in the schools. One of the things that's really critical, what we've come to learn, is that when principals ask teachers or tap them on the shoulder and say, you are going to be the steward of this mathematics project, there needs to be a much stronger understanding of the fact that the teachers are being asked to move out of the role of teacher into teacher educator. Right, and I know I've wrapped up, and I always preempt some questions, so if you don't have any questions for me, I have 2 questions for you. I always come with a little twist. And this is one that I'm particularly interested in, because what we come to learn, in fact, is a significant finding out of the project. As a person who does provide professional learning at the university for these teachers so that we bring them on campus, we also provide it in the school. But this transition of knowledge from the university environment where the PL is delivered, how does that transition into the school? Will I see it in a month's time, 6 months' time? Will it be invisible in 12 months' time? Now this project is $300,000 worth.